YouTubers and subscribers, Ch.10-18 here, and in this video we're gonna do a review of Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest Volume 2 Chapters 10 through 18. And spoilers! So let's get started, shall we? So Chapter 10 starts out where it left off, where the Dragon Eaters come along and want to destroy Markphobia since he's no longer worthy to eat. But then we get a fight between Natsu's group and the Dragon Eaters. Gray versus Skull Dragon, Urza's versus Kiria, Natsu versus the Armor Dragon, and Lucy doing completely nothing at the moment. While fighting the Armor Dragon, Natsu gets thrown onto a ship, and you know that Natsu and ships don't mix because of his Dragon Slayer magic. But for some reason, the Dragon Eaters are okay. Next is Urza against Kiria. A nice battle to witness until Urza started acting strange and embarrassed about her appearance. It turns out that Kiria cut away Urza's strength. Okay, I may not like this Blade Dragon bitch, but I am digging her magical abilities. She can pretty much slice through anything. Magic, clothes, hard steel, and now emotional strength. And with that said, the chapter ends here with Urza begging on her knees. Damn. Urza begging on her knees until Wendy, Carla, and Lucy tries to save her, but got their asses handed to them. Next is Gray handling the Skull Dragon. Sorry, I don't remember his name and I am too lazy to go back to the previous chapter to find out. So Gray activates his Demon Slayer magic to free the Skull Dragon, but only to break free and Gray turn it into ashes. Okay, I know Gray isn't going to die and I'm going to see him later. But other than Natsu's team being defeated and the Water Dragon God is down as well, but I know our heroes are gonna come back up for a rematch. But before that, we get back to Magnolia, is where the chapter ends with Jalal who found Toka. Jalal finds the White Mage, but only to discover that Toka has no clue what he's talking about. And then we get a short introduction to the White Witch's backstory, which, like Avatar, who are the people that worship Zareth, here are the followers of Libris. The White Witch has the ability to change the world into nothingness. Well, damn, no wonder she's dangerous. Toka denied about having white magic as she claims she's a water mage. But Jalal has his doubts, and as he explains that someone was stealing magic from wizards and he believed that Toka is the culprit. As Toka was about to be attacked, Loxus stepped in and claims that he'll protect those in his guild. And it looks like there's a Loxus versus Jalal fight. But in the next panel, I see a ship of the Dragon Eaters departing to find the White Witch. Not only that Kiria took Urza to keep as a pet, but they kidnapped Natsu and Wendy who don't have the strength to move, so now it's up to Lucy to find and save them in a rowboat that was given her by Ciramil. Happy and Carla flew around to find another ship sailing nearby, and Gray was thrown into Lucy's hand, literally, as we get a familiar face, and it's Brandish! They have a little conversation as Brandish talks about her guild being disbanded and the other members are off doing their own thing, and there's some that died. But Lucy asks her to be her friend. Happy and Carla ask for her help, but Brandish, being her shameless self, she refused. God, I love this woman. Brandish refused to lend a hand as she's on a personal request to find Aquarius' key, which gave Lucy some bad memories. But to me, it seems like a race between the two girls, as who will get the key first. And as much as Lucy wants to find Aquarius' key, she knows that saving her friend is her top priority. So finding the key will be put on hold for now. As Brandish sails off, she changes Gray into its normal size and lands on Lucy in a way that activates Juvia's love rival sensors, which I find hilarious. I get a well-warming page from Brandish's smile and Lucy telling her that she's not a failure. Back at Magnolia, Jalal is sitting at the window thinking of the scene of Loxus and Toka. Jalal backs off, but then thought about Urza and what she would have done, and when this happens, oh yeah, I forgot, she's Kiria's pet. But after Kiria falls asleep, Urza freed herself from her grasp and managed to free Natsu and Wendy. She planned to counterattack, but then forgot that the Dragon Slayers are useless on a moving ships. However, Brandish used her magic to lift the ship off the moving seas, giving Natsu and Wendy a fighting chance. Kiria wakes up to find Urza with sword in hand ready for a rematch. Then there is Natsu and Wendy against the Skull Dragon, but nothing seemed to be working until Natsu managed to get a punch. Meanwhile, back at the Fairy Tail Guild, Toka thanked Loxus for helping her with Jalal, but there still is Gagio having doubts about her, and so does Juvia apparently. Okay, I don't think Juvia is on the same boat as Gagio for Toka being suspicious. Maybe she's just getting annoyed by the White Witch. But still, you can't help that something's off about her. Sure, Toka may seem innocent, but after seeing that creepy smile, I'm starting to have my doubts as well. But enough about that. Back to Urza and her fight with Kiria. Some moments of her thinking of her man, Jalal. Speaking of Jalal, Toka shows up in his room revealing her true self. The White Witch targeted Fairy Tail for having too much magic, and that it should be erased. But the thing is, the White Witch does believe that magic itself is not evil, but only when there's a large amount piled up in one place. She sucks out Jalal's magic, but only to be stopped by Toka, who turns out to be the White Witch's other half. And then they are stopped by Dajio, and then Jalal suspects that Toka and the White Witch have different personalities. Now back to Urza's fight. Okay, I like these back and forth scenes, but now I'm getting annoyed by them, so I'm gonna make this short. Kiria cuts off Urza, but Urza uses her enchanted Dragon Slayer sword called Balserion. Wendy and Natsu fight against the Skull and Armor Dragon. Natsu gets hurt, but then burns away the Armor Dragon with his Dragon Fire King's Purgatory, along with Wendy's swimsuit. Chapter 16 starts off where it left off, with Wendy half naked, but Lucy and Carla fly towards him and summon Gemini to give Wendy an outfit from the celestial world. Gotta love those little guys. Happy also shows up with Gray, and as the armor dragon is still alive, Natsu seems to start to melt the ship, as it's seen here that Kiria's clothes are melting away. But Urza uses her Fire Empress armor and takes down Kiria with the Flame Empress Soaring Flame Blade. Well, doesn't that sound slightly familiar?
Dragon Slayer Secret Art! Flame Lotus! Exploding
Okay, not exact the same words, but it's pretty close. Either way, Urza took down the Blade Dragon only to be saved by the Skull Dragon. Yeah, I find it strange that I remember the name of the Blade Dragon but not any of the others. I guess because her name is easy to remember for me. But moving on, we got a panel of our heroes, and then we get a speech from Natsu about solving another issue with the Water Dragon God. But the Dragoneers are not interested in the Water God since his power was stolen by the White Mage, and thus they retreat once again along with the ship that's made out of ashes. Then at the end of the chapter, we see Markphobia waking up and attacks Saramil, telling her to get away. The next chapter, we get the group piled up in that one little boat, and it's too cramped for all of them, so Happy and Carla picked up Natsu and Wendy to give the others more room. Natsu and Wendy notice smoke from the distance, and so they rush towards the town and discover that the Water Dragon God is going on a rampage. Why? Well, Saramil explains that she allowed the White Witch to take away his powers because of the increase of the tides from the sea. But what she didn't realize at the time is that the White Witch didn't take away his magic powers, but his powers of restriction. Now to the White Mage, Toka explains that the White Witch is inside her body. She also heard about the enchanted wizard in the Fairy Tale Guild that she can use to separate her from the White Witch, but the mage wakes up and it turns out she's the one controlling the Water Dragon God, and thus ending the chapter with Saramil in tears and Natsu's expression. This is the last chapter of the volume, including a little bonus chapter that I will cover later. The Water Dragon God is going on a rampage as Saramil begged Natsu and the others to kill the dragon in order to stop the chaos. Now this chapter is where Natsu is having doubts about not killing the Dragon God, as there is no other way to stop him, but he is having doubts about his friends' opinions. After the argument from the crew and Carla used his own word against him, Natsu decided to get into the fight. Wendy enchanted Urza, Lucy, and Gray with Dragon Slayer to Timu. Natsu throws the first punch but has no effect, so the others join in with their attacks but did little damage. Therefore, Markphobia counterattacked by lifting the water into the sky, freaking out Natsu and the others. And then at the end of the chapter, we see the White Mage Toka and the entire Fairy Tale Guild on the ground. Now that is one hell of a cliffhanger from this volume. And now on to the bonus chapter. It is a 4-page special with Lucy with the expression that you'll never forget, and an old cliche of Natsu and Happy in her apartment snacking away. Lucy is trying to write a novel but has writer's block as she cannot come up with any ideas. But Natsu decided to bring her on a job to come up with new ideas, which she starts taking notes while being surrounded by these things. It was a good little bonus chapter. Not my personal favorite, but I liked it. So my thoughts on this volume? Well, there are some fight scenes I did like, and I got more information on the White Mage, and that Toka is just a vessel to that witch. I thought there was gonna be a fight between Loxus and Jalal, but never happened, and honestly, I didn't really expect it. But what I also did not expect was the change in Natsu's behavior towards his friends about fighting against the Water Dragon God, as if he is doubting his friends, but maybe I'm reading in too much to this. But then I remember watching a YouTube review from IronNancy on this chapter, and he said the same thing about Natsu doubting his friends, and I kinda agreed with him. If you'd like to check out IronNancy's YouTube channel, there is a link down below. Now that is all I had to say about this volume, and now it's your turn to tell me your thoughts on this volume by leaving a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next video. Rose Red 17